freshman year, and I think this was the one and only time I wrestled varsity my freshman year, and it was at a tournament, and it was at a quad tournament. And this was in DeKalb, Illinois, the home of the barbs. DeKalb, Illinois invented barbed wire.
Oh.
And so their mascot was literally a barbed wire, but somehow it translated to a turkey. I don't know how that worked, but and my parents just left. I didn't have extra pump supplies because in reality, I only started like moving through life now where I have two extra sets of like insertion sets and reservoirs and insulin on me, because now that I'm, I don't want to work 20-30 minutes away and have to drive home in case something happens. Like,
Yeah.
so I didn't have a lot. I don't think I had any extra pump supplies with me. So my parents leave. They're starting to drive, they're probably like 20-30 minutes away. It's like a middle of a snowstorm. They can't turn back, or I don't know what they had to, but they were slow to get home and then turn around. I can't remember all the details. It's so long ago. But my pump, literally, the Medtronic tubing snapped somehow.
Oh, wow.
And it's hard to break that
Yeah,
tubing.
that just stretches out on me.
Yeah, and that I remember that being like one of the selling points as a kid. At 13 years old, 14 years old, whenever I was on the pump the first time, like, see, you can take scissors and you can't cut it. Like, it just goes on and on. It's like
Gotcha.
taffy. Yeah. And so it literally like ripped. And I was like, I don't know what to do. And my head coach, the varsity coach, was a AP biology teacher. So he actually knew a little bit about metabolism. He
Yeah.
wasn't a professor of anything, but I mean, he knew some stuff, and he knew, he was like, well, I know if you run, it'll lower your blood sugar. And so I think it was done for wrestling, and so for like it ended up be like an hour and a half, because I guess we had more than 2 hours left in the meet, and then I wasn't wrestling anymore or something. I was just running in a hallway for an hour. He just made me. He was like, just run and don't stop. And he made like the seniors, like two seniors, like keep company, and just like I would just go back and forth, and it didn't even seem like a long time, an hour and a half. But just running in this one hallway for an hour and a half because literally the tubing broke. Um, and I think I was like perfect at the end of it, and I was like, oh, I guess I don't need insulin anymore. Once my parents got there, like an hour and a half later, and came back with a fresh everything, and then we ended up just leaving at the same time as my parents left. So they're like, probably like, what the hell?
Yeah.
Like, why do we drive all this way? His blood sugar was fine. So but that's just one of the things as an athlete, as a diabetic, especially as a high school athlete or junior high or a college athlete, that you run into situations like that, and you don't really know necessarily what to do.
Hmm. Yeah, it's always really tough because I mean that's why I think for the most part, most type 1 diabetics are just like in that mindset of always being prepared because you really get screwed over sometimes and it's like, all right, I better not do that again. Let's try and learn from this and get better.
Right.
Eh, So it's just like you learn to just always have a lot of stuff around so you don't have to deal with that again. Cause like I'm sure you don't want to have to run forever again just to keep your blood sugar down.